Alright, everyone. I have sat here and watched the video about Mahogany Jackson from the Jacksons of Atlanta. And I'm almost in tears. And I'm going to tell you why. That lady leaving them kids at that house by themselves. All 6 of them. And I'm going to tell you why CPS is never going to do anything. Because all of them show signs of autism. She's already said 4 of them have already been diagnosed. So therefore, all of those kids probably have autism. And what does that say for the system? They're not sellable. Nobody wants children with autistic issues because it's a lot of work. It's very time consuming. And you already have to deal with the fact that you got someone else's children. So you have someone else's traits. You have someone else's personality. You have someone else's genetic form. So that comes with already health issues and things that you don't know of. So on top of all that, I have to take autistic kids. I'm not doing it. So what the CPS do is they turn a blind eye. And it's sad. It is. And the only thing they're going to do is tell her to get her act together, because what's going to happen is they're going to keep turning a blind eye and them kids is going to get hurt. And then she's going to be in jail. They tell her that specifically. They're not going to come out there to take the kids away or to investigate, or they're just going to get hurt. And that's when CPS has no other choice but to step in. And it's really, really sad. Because what happened was this young girl went and had 6 kids by a man that she thought was going to take care of her for the rest of her days. And then when they decided to have the first set of twins, let me tell you what happened. They had the first set of twins. Y'all did that. Y'all gave them people clout. And they was like, oh, now if only we can mimic this again. They didn't think they would have twins again, but they knew they would have a baby. So when they had the twins again, y'all gave them even more clout. And that's why they tried to replicate it again. Now, I don't know if the third time, from what it sounds like, the third time they tried to do probably certain kind of fertility treatments, and it didn't work, because everybody knows to get twins 3 times is a miracle, okay? It doesn't happen like that. So they tried to do it again, but it did not work. So they said, we'll lie about it. And then when the lie didn't upheld, like they got paid on the first and the second time, that's when you see the decline. If you watch the Jacksons of Atlanta, you can see the decline in them becoming this family dynamic channel. You see Justin doing more of his skits. You see Mahogany doing more of her little modeling and things like that. And her book and her photos. You don't see much of the family dynamic no more, because there were no more sensations about the twins. And that's simply because that's what happens. Everybody was excited that these people had twins. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's such a blessing. And then once these twins got older and they had new twins, they're like, okay, that's awesome. That's great. That's wonderful. The third time, that's why they lied and scammed. The third time, y'all wasn't interested. When Mahogany left little clues, and Justin left little clues that it was only one baby. They tested it out, and y'all wasn't interested. So we'll lie. And then when the hospital decided that they wasn't going to go with the illusion that there was some other baby when there never was, and Justin had to fake all of this by himself, okay? Because the doctors wasn't doing it, the nurses wasn't doing it. When they had to put on this facade and it wasn't working, they declined. Justin told us in a live that he never really liked Mahogany. It's just what happened is she got pregnant with twins and it went viral. And they had all this money. Justin's going out to Top Golf and they going out. We heard from the photographer. They used them kids as props. That's all they were. Honestly, I think, this is my honest opinion, if they would have never blew up, Mahogany probably would have had an abortion. That's my honest opinion. So, what does Mahogany do when she gets the new boyfriend? She tries to get pregnant. But when y'all found out that the boyfriend was a felon, that didn't give her no clout. Okay, y'all found out because Justin already said he wasn't as squeaky clean either, which means he has a criminal record as well. But y'all didn't care about his criminal record. So she figured you wouldn't care about the next dude's criminal record. And y'all did, because those are not his kids. So she tries to get pregnant. Y'all didn't care. It's just crazy. And then the only words I have to say for Miss Jasmine is that you should have called on them children a long time ago. I understand that you've seen a woman struggling, a single mother struggling, whether she was married or not. She was single. She was single married, because Justin already said he was never into doing the cooking and the cleaning and the taking care of kids. Mahogany said it on live. She was never into being the stay-at-home mom and to take care of all those children, as she calls it, by herself. But really, in general, she wasn't into it. And now that she realized that in order to keep this lifestyle somewhat, she has to play the part. You done stirred your ingredients in there. You have to continue with the storyline. And that Justin, boy, he a piece of work. I said it when he left. I said, that is ridiculous to have 6 kids and take away this woman's life, and you call yourself a pastor. I would never attend none of your churches. I would never attend none of your churches. You stole that woman's youth so you can profit. Y'all listen to me again. You stole that woman's youth so you could profit. And then, when she had no more youth to give, you left. And then you tried to use your kids, you tried to use the twins and say, oh, well, I care about the twins. I miss my sons. I miss all my sons. No, you don't. You miss the money they came with. So you tried to push yourself in there. Let me try to make it seem like I'm the good daddy. And when that didn't work, I'm gonna go over here and do my own thing. Boy, you worse than Ike Turner. Woo wee. Mm. 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 Do I feel sorry for him? Mm-mm. Am I saying that she's a victim? No. What I'm saying is, he took a young, naive girl and promised her, if you have all these kids, now you will be a star. And what happened? She had all them damn kids and he left her. Because that well ran dry. Drying in the Sahara Desert. And so she's leaving those kids because she's burnt out. That's what I want to say to y'all. She's leaving those children because she's burned out. She told y'all in a live. Look up these lives now. She told y'all in a live. I think she was in the bathroom. And she said, I think she was still with Justin too. And she said, most of my 20s, I've had children, so I never got to experience life. Listen to that. That should have told y'all right then, if Justin left, people tell y'all things and it'd be right there in y'all face. But like she said, it'd be a bunch of older women on this app. And those were the same women that used to leave y'all kids in the damn house all day by themselves. Y'all didn't do it when we was that young. But you'll do it when we, got around 8, 9 years old, knew better than to open the door for a random person or knew better than to turn the eye on. But you still left us in the house all day long. And I said us. My mama didn't leave me in the house by myself. Or she preferred to leave me with a random alcoholic, which is even worse. But yeah, you heard her firsthand say that if Justin wasn't there, she wasn't going to take care of them kids. So what did you expect now that he's gone? She leaves them kids. She goes to events. She goes to shopping. She do all the things that she can do as if them kids was with someone. Now, they used to sit up here and they used to lie and say, oh, we got a nanny. Now, y'all remember, they went and had a nanny. They stopped paying the nanny. They stopped paying the nanny. And one thing about it, even if they did pay her, 6 kids is a lot. Okay? That's a lot for one person. Listen to me again. That's a lot for one person. And then you talking about 4 of them got diagnosed autism. That's a lot for one person. Now, not the friend, sorry, Jasmine, the ex-friend, came up here and she said, I want to make a comment on this because I know about this firsthand. Now, she said that the kids did not eat. I don't know if that's completely true. Okay. She said she don't know if it was like if they weren't eating as much. No. Let me tell you something. Kids with ADHD, they will eat and eat and eat and eat until they fool themselves so much that they throw up. I know because I have an ADHD son. Okay, he is now 11. I used to hear the same thing from the schools. Schools done called people on me, saying that they felt like my son was not eating enough at home. So, of course, the CPS people come in the house and they check my refrigerator and they check my stove to make sure it's running and my water and all that good stuff. And they find out that he has plenty of food. Okay. I've always heard that. Plenty of food at the house. But what happens, and I found out from his therapist, his psychiatrist, I have to get him a new one now, but I found out from his psychiatrist that is the first symptom of ADHD. The excessive eating, because they're excessively eating to get attention. So what she was doing is she was feeding into their attention spans. So they felt like, oh, she feels sorry for me, so let me just keep eating and eating and eating. That's another reason why Mahogany is burned out. Yep. She's burned out. So she's leaving those kids because it's a mental. She says it in her videos. It is a mental escape because CPS is not going to do nothing for her. There's no daycare that's going to take those 4 boys with autism. Trust me, I'm telling y'all, from a mother that has an autistic son that got kicked out. My nose is not wet, by the way. I just want to let y'all know. I have a sore right there, so it's shining in the light. I'm telling you from an autistic mother, okay? Those 4 boys get in the classroom. No. And she does not, I could tell by the way that she is, how can I put it? The way that she is portraying herself, she does not have the money to put them in the right kind of special service daycare center. That's why she was like, I wanted them to go to a school. They're in probably a Head Start program. I'm just being honest. They're probably in a Head Start program. And that way, in the Head Start program, they won't kick them out when they misbehave. They will correct the behavior and she can start IEP services already. So once they get ready to go to kindergarten, they'll be in the kindergarten. But I think now they're in school, which is really great. But yeah, that's what was happening back then. She could not afford the kind of daycare. I know because I couldn't. She couldn't afford the kind of daycare that it would take to run 4 boys with autism. And the government doesn't pay for these specialized daycares. No. So y'all might as well get that out your head right now. And if you think she had a bunch of money, I'm talking $5,000 And I'm not talking about a year. I'm talking about 3 to 4 months. Okay? And that's a fairly basic special services daycare. That's not something that can house 4 boys. Okay? Um so in that sense, Justin and that piece of crap there should have helped her. He should have helped her. And that's probably what all that fighting back and forth was. Is because she was telling him, I'm burned out. What I do is I leave these kids here so that I can avoid from mental breakdown. Okay? And he probably told her, I don't got shit to do with that. Why are you telling me that? Ain't nobody told you to get pregnant over and over again, Mahogany. Knowing dang on well that he told her, and he said it in a lie, that if she decided to go on birth control or try to use some kind of sterilization methods, that he would in turn divorce her. But, and I realize Mahogany is the one that is probably with the autism, because at that point you should have known that he was only in it for the fact that you could get pregnant and you could go viral. Because he said it right there next to you that he did not like you. He said it. He said, I wouldn't like Mahogany if it wasn't for our kids. And I was just taken by that. And I was like, you have to be some cold-hearted person to sit right there in your wife's face who done birth. At this time, I think it was 5 children. And tell her, she wasn't even fresh. I think she wasn't even fresh out of postpartum yet. Tell her that you would rather not be with her if she couldn't produce basically your seeds and make you money. That's some deep, cold-hearted stuff. And then you got to think from her standpoint. Because like she said, she was a young girl. Think in a young girl's mind. I'm making money off of these kids. I really don't want none of these children. But I'm making money off of them. And I'm with the daddy. So let's just make it work. And then he up and says, you know what? On second thought, I decided that I don't want to do this. What? It is. I'm not saying my marriage is perfect, because I, in fact, have 6 children. But I tell you now, I told my husband this. If my husband looks me in my face and tell me if I didn't have our children, that he probably wouldn't be with me, I told him we just end it right then and there. Because you don't know how long you have on this earth. And if you do have a long time, do you want to spend that long time just living like that? That's why they left the kids. That's why they treated the kids like that. Because they had no family dynamic. They were not a family. Family includes love, includes a sense of home. They were just roomies, shacking up together and making children. They was running an orphanage, basically. And it just makes me so sad because I'm like, people on this app supports women like this. But real women, women like Jasmine, women like, I'm talking Jasmine Cohan, not any other Jasmine. Women like me who always put our children first. Always think about our children first. Yes, my daughter is coming over a cold because I had one. If you breastfeed, you know, you know. And they support women that basically leave their kids in the house all day, locked up in a room, no food to eat, diapers wet, diaper rashes. And I know these doctors and these people be seeing it. Now, pay attention to this. I'm going to take apart a recent video. Okay? Because I know the situation I'm talking about happened like 7 months ago. I got to give her time. Happened like 7 months ago. So let's take apart a recent video. Recent video is, she said her son had to get a Hep B shot or whatever it was, immunization basically. And she preferred that the child not get a combo shot. Now I'm from Georgia, okay? Doctors' offices in Georgia do, most of them do combos. They do. They do combos because it simply saves time, and they know with parents, it's a lot of, you have to go to work. You really don't have time to take off, especially if you're in a 2-parent home with a 2-parent income. You don't have a lot of time to take off of work. You don't have a lot of time to run back and forth to the doctor's office. So what they do is they created this thing where it's a combination immunization. So it has multiple immunizations in one shot. So you do one doctor's appointment for however many shots instead of going back and forth to the doctor's office, because you know, with kids you have to go to the doctor's office. I think it's like 25 or 26 visits. I think I'm just estimating. I know it's a lot. It's more than 10. And you have to get these immunizations at every well child visit. So in order to cut that down, so that way you don't miss immunizations, which is vital for the child, and you might just miss a well child visit, which is just a simple checkup to make sure they're growing, which is still important, but it can be missed and rescheduled. Immunizations really should not be missed, and this is recommended by the CDC. Well child visits can be missed and rescheduled, but still should be done at least once a year. And they said at least. During, their first year of life, you're supposed to do it more often than that. But if you take your child to the doctor at least once, they can say, okay, you've checked on your child. But if you do not get these immunizations in time, their body immune system, what happens is it breaks down. And certain things that they were immune to, they are no longer immune to anymore, and they can be subjected and possibly pass away. So they make it very important for you to get these immunizations, especially in Georgia. Take it from a person firsthand. They make it very important. So she decided, instead of taking them to the doctor, did y'all peep that? She takes them to the health department. Now, you can request the doctor only give your child one shot. It's not hard. So for her to sit up here and say, like I said, take it from a person who was in Georgia, who had a child. I had 2 kids in Georgia. I birthed them. You can tell the doctor to give them 1 shot at a time. There is no, oh, my clinic only does combos. There's no only. You can tell them, hey, I really don't, want to do the combo. Can you just do the 1 shot that is needed? And they will, of course, they got to order the shot, probably, to get the 1 shot instead of having the combo. But even if she was to do the combo, my doctor explained it to me because they had lost my son's records when I moved from South Carolina to where I live now. If you know, you know where I live. I don't care. But where I live now, they decided to redo them instead of, trying to figure out what shot he had, what shot he doesn't have. They just decided to go based off of the record that he had and do those shots. And I asked the doctor, which you can, because she never mentioned that she asked the doctor, if you repeat these shots, can can it cause any kind of health problems? And you know what the doctor told me? No. It doesn't cause any health problems. It doesn't cause any type of adverse side effects that, I have to warn you about. It's just your body is getting re-administered the same antibodies I just gave you. That's it. You hear that? That is it. So she could have done the repeat combo, and the doctor probably would have explained that to her. But she doesn't want to take them kids to the doctor. And that's concerning. So she would rather, let me tell you how I go in a health department. So in the health department, you go in there, you fill out a paper. You fill out a paper to say whether or not you're going to pay for the shots. And I think they're like $26. They might be higher now. If you're going to pay for the shot, self-pay, or if you're going to pay for it through insurance. Okay. So once you fill out that paper, they send you to a waiting room. Okay. You meet with a nurse. It's like a walk-in clinic. You meet with a nurse. It's just like as if you would go to the health department for anything else. If you know, you know. It's just like that. So you meet with the nurse. The nurse sticks the baby. And then they tell you to go back and wait in the front for your immunization record. And once you get to the checkout, that's it. So no doctor examines. They don't take vitals. They don't, check weight or anything like that. They simply give your baby the shots or the shot that the baby needs. And then they send you back out front. Like you literally hold the baby in your lap. Okay? And they stick the baby. That's how it goes. So the fact that she did not take this baby or these babies to the doctor is very concerning. Because it's telling me that, in fact, she is hiding something from the doctor. And so in order to cover up for that and not have to go through the examination of whatever that was wrong with them, she decided to go to the health department, get the shots, and then send them to school. This is so sad. Like, this is abuse signs and symptoms 101. The fact that the children, okay, are still wearing diapers, number one, I'm confused at that. Well, I know now with Head Start, um, they do allow children who are not potty trained, and they're gonna potty train them at the school, but it's still sad. It's sad. And I told y'all the second time she had the babies that this was, in fact, a money grab. hmm Then she had the third, I think she faked it, third set of fake twins. And that was baby number 5. I told y'all, I said, I won't be surprised if she tries it again, because what happened is Justin said, oh shit, this shit didn't work. So let's try again. And what happened, she got pregnant with baby number 6. And when he found out baby number 6 was by all alone in there, he was like, he told her then, I don't want to do it. That's why they was crying and upset. Not because of no dang on baby that never existed. They were crying and upset because he told her then. Now, if she would have had a girl, she might have stayed because she would have went viral, of course. But the fact that it was still a boy, Mr. Justin Jackson was done then. He was done then. And I said, that's so sad. Like, looking at because their skits are somewhat their feelings towards each other. So looking at the skit of what was it, Baby Moon, when they found out what it was, you can kind of see the discernment in both of them. Like they couldn't be bothered with each other, really. Like they really was just acting and putting on an act. Because I tell you now, if any loving couple goes on an extravagant baby moon like that, oh, you be all over each other in the camera. They couldn't get no good cuts. They be like, this is getting too hot, too spicy, too fast. Y'all gotta calm down. Okay? But you could tell it was all for sure. For sure. They really didn't care. They didn't even have any food in the refrigerator. I'm like, what? First thing me and my husband gonna go do is buy a bunch of extravagant food to put in that extravagant refrigerator. Because especially if I'm pregnant. It's signs that everybody should have seen from the first set of twins. But nobody opened their eyes to pay attention. And now that this lady who was her neighbor, and like I said, I have no ill will towards her. I just wish she would have came out a little bit earlier. But she did put some fire under Mahogany, because she got them kids in school. She did. But them little boys, them babies, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because I wonder if the babies are being cared for. It puts a bad thought in my mind that them babies are being left at home. Now, what can I say? The 6-year-olds, I think it was, they have a little bit of sense, if you know what I mean. Like, not saying that toddlers are stupid or anything like that, but they know a little bit more than a 1-year-old. Also, 1-year-olds can't really talk for themselves. But I think they're like 2 or 3 now. Maybe they're talking a little bit more. I don't know. It's so sad. It's still sad because I'm pretty sure she's still leaving them at night by themselves. Um, and the dude she with is trash. But Justin came out and said that the dude she with is absolute garbage because he exposed a lot about her. Anyway, that was my opinion on the whole Mahogany Jackson. And the thing is, I was one of the people who was kind of happy that she had left Justin. And then now with this, and I'm thinking about all the vlogs and all the lives that was done. It's sad because God blessed them people with 4 beautiful sets of twins, and they used them for clout, and that was it. And to be a mother and to have children, I don't see how women do it. To have children just for the simple fact that I could get a paycheck. How do you do that? I want to know. Like, how do you cut that off? How do you cut off the fact that I love this child unconditionally? I can't do it. I couldn't. But anyway, um, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.